The Truth Teller series is continuing. Sometimes we tell the truth about a coach or a program or a conference, but tonight I wanted to take some time and tell the truth about something that most of you hate and I don't hate, maybe even love. Big Noon Kickoff. Fox's premier college football window every Saturday is Big Noon Kickoff, aptly titled because the game kicks off at noon Eastern Time. So, Penn State folks, I don't even expect you to have a level head when I'm talking about this, and you shouldn't, because if I was a Penn State fan, Fox has screwed me out of so many potential whiteout games that I would be irate, and I don't expect you to understand someone like me when I say, hey, I love Big Noon Kickoff. But I am in the minority, and I'm selfish about this. You guys know, if you've watched or listened for a long time, you shouldn't even acknowledge me on this. If you're a fan, I'm thinking differently than you this one time because I always have to travel to get back home to do the show Sunday, and Big Noon Kickoff often affords me the opportunity to go to the game, get to the airport, and get home that night. That's all there is to it. That's why I started loving Big Noon Kickoff. But most of you don't have to do that, and so you want the primetime game, and I get it. But I have a plan when I'm commissioner to solve this. I have listened to you. I have a plan. But Fox made the proper decision, really, if you think about it. If you put yourself in Fox's shoes, they looked around and they said, wait a second. So CBS has their big game at 3:30. ABC puts a big game at 3:30. Like everyone puts a big game at 3:30. And then everyone who has a game, ABC and ESPN mainly, they backload their day. They put their most valuable games in prime time. Fox came along and said, why is nobody properly leveraging the noon time slot? Because in college football, think about the pattern of your day. You wake up and you either go to the gym or you get all your family obligations out of the way in the morning. You go to Home Depot or the grocery store, or you're watching Game Day or Big Noon, the Fox's pregame show. But it's all building up to the noon kickoffs. It's not like people are saying college football is an afterthought until 3:30 or 4. You're locked in from the time you wake up till the time you go to bed. And Fox said, well, if that's going to be the case, why try and put our most valuable game in between all the other A games? Why don't we take this noon window? I thought it was smart. I still think it was smart. It's just that the problem is the way college football media rights deals work is networks sign deals with conferences, which I hate because the way I wish it worked is what I'll lay out for you in a second. But the way I wish it worked is not the way it works. So, for instance, hey, quick timeout. Check and see if you're subscribed to the YouTube channel. If you're not, I humbly ask that you click subscribe. It's free. It doesn't sign you up for anything. What it does is it helps us keep this show free so we can just do college football year-round. All right, back to the clip. Fox has a deal with the Big Ten. It's not like Fox has a deal with every other conference where they have this limitless supply of games to choose from. So pretty much every week, Fox is taking the biggest game in the Big Ten and they're putting it at noon. Well, the problem is Penn State folks have a long and storied tradition of making their big game a night game to make it the whiteout game. But that does not supersede the rights that Fox has paid to acquire. And so they come along and say, Penn State, Michigan, Penn State, Ohio State. This year, who knows, Penn State, Oregon, noon kickoff, noon kickoff, noon kickoff, and it sucks for them. The way I wish this worked, by the way, when I'm college football commissioner, the way I hope this works is we burn all the rights agreements. We start from scratch, and every network has a piece of college football, but you have a draft every week. And so there is no exclusive deal. Like ESPN does not have an exclusive deal with the SEC. Fox doesn't have an exclusive deal with the Big Ten. Everybody has a college football deal. And NBC and CBS and Netflix and Amazon and Fox are at the table every week, and we're rotating depending on how much you've bought in, but you get to draft games every week. And so what could happen is one week Fowler and Herbstreit could be calling a Big 12 game, and the next week they're doing an SEC game, but Klatt and Gus Johnson, same thing. They could be doing a Penn State game one week, they could be doing a Texas A&M game the next week, and it would wreak havoc on their travel schedule, but they get compensated handsomely for this. What you would get, finally, if you're a Penn State fan, or an Ohio State fan is get an opportunity for your games to happen in prime time. And let me tell you something. Yes, this matters for fans. Yes, it matters for the viewer. You know how hard it is for those recruiting and personnel departments to take kids who are playing high school football games on Friday night and get them to State College, Pennsylvania in time for a noon kickoff the next day. You ever tried to fly into State College? No, you can't. Harrisburg, Johnstown, York, Wilkes-Barre, Philly, Pittsburgh, that's where you're flying into. And then you're trying to drive. And look, I've been out in rural parts of the country recently, so it's just straight interstate, and you can check out mentally for 10, 15 minutes at a time. It is white knuckle, it is spaghetti plot roadways all over Pennsylvania. And so it's tough to get guys there for noon kickoffs. And so it's a disadvantage in recruiting. So look, when I'm commissioner, we'll solve this. But in the meantime, all I'm saying is I don't think big noon kickoff's the worst thing in the world. And I'm glad you're not in here with me right now because I know you disagree.